And we're back to another episode of Spirit of Justice. So, we're talking about how there is no motive for Wendell, there is no reason for Wendell to actually do anything, and apparently Bucky Wet was around before 4 p.m., so now we're going back to accusing Bucky Wet again, and I believe Nayuta is in the middle of pointing out why it's him.
The long rolling pin and the special knife that is used to cut the dough into noodles.
Precisely. These tools all came from the accused's soba shop.
You mean they didn't belong to Master Tornado?
Mr. Wet had visited the dressing room to give the victim a soba-making lesson, and that visit was before 4 p.m. I'm afraid that after the accused kneaded the dough and made those noodles, he murdered them then? Is that what you're saying? He committed the act of murder.
Wait, that doesn't add up! If Mr. Wet killed the victim before 4 p.m., why would he return to that room at a later time?
This Bucky? Hold it! Wet soba, your kit and caboodle when it comes to noodles. Oh my! Hiya, Miss Chickadee. Hey, Simey. The reason I went back is because Master Tornado ordered uncooked noodles.
Mr. Wet!
Yesterday, I bought noodle-making tools to the dressing room at around 2 p.m. That's when Master Tornado ordered uncooked soba noodles to stock up on.
Uncooked noodles to stock up on?
Yes, ma'am. Master Tornado kept a supply of soba noodles from my shop in his fridge. Man, why are you still carrying those? He's only had one serving left, so I went back to my shop to get some more.
One serving of noodles in the fridge? Why, I thought the fridge was practically empty. Huh. Anyway, the whereabouts of the missing noodles isn't all that important now.
That means it's important later.
You ran into me in Gairu when you came back to deliver the uncooked soba, correct?
That's right, Simey. I made time out of my busy day to deliver him the noodles. And you know what? He ignored me when I called him from the inner doorway. He just kept mumbling Rakugo lines for ages, so I got mad and went back to my soba shop.
Ah, so that's why you got mad.
I think he was already dead by that point.
If what he's saying is true, then there's no way he could be the murderer.
I swear I'm telling you the truth, Miss Chica. Sonny, how much have you drank? Bailiff, quick! Get this man to the infirmary! Well, I dare say he's quite the handful.
Your Honor, please accept the statements of Mr. Wet made just now into evidence.
I believe the accused's statement about going to the room at around 2 p.m. is true, for it falls within the victim's estimated time of death. That opens up the possibility that the crime was committed between 2 and 4 p.m. That's some critical information. Yes, Your Honor. But other than that one point, Mr. Wet's statements are dubious and without proof.
Objection. But they are the words of the defendant himself. Simon, back me up here.
He has a point. If I were the prosecutor, I wouldn't accept them either.
Well, I understand the defense's feelings on the matter. This court is unable to accept anything other than the time the defendant made his visit.
Now what do I do?
I trust you have no further objections, defense. At last, the time has come to send the soul of the victim onward to the Twilight Realm.
Silence.
What are you
What are you yammering on about, Prosecutor Sad Monk?
I need to stop interrupting Blackwell. I don't know why I keep doing this. This is the second time now.
We still have something we need to question Wendo about.
We do? Like what?
Well, don't just stand there.
But we don't have any evidence left to present.
Hello, let's talk about Owen.
Have you forgotten already?
Yeah, she has.
Isn't there still a hidden witness you have yet to question?
A hidden witness? Oh, that's right! Your Honor, there's still one more issue we haven't finished discussing yet.
Oh? And what is this bit of unfinished business?
We haven't finished discussing this issue related to Uendo.
Owen.
We still have to discuss the possibility of a fourth personality, the one named Owen.
Are you suggesting that this fourth personality of Wendo's might be the true culprit?
Jeez, not that again. I told you we don't know anything about this Owen.
Look, Uendo, I know you don't have any motive to kill your master, but this Owen may have one for all we know.
Come clean now, Wendo. You've got another personality stashed away, haven't you?
Please tell us everything you know about Owen.
That's enough. The witness has already stated that he knows not of any Owen character.
Bravo! You tell him, Mr. Prosecutor.
Hey, Patches. If you claim you don't know Owen when you really do, that's tantamount to perjury. If you want to exercise your right to remain silent, however, well, that's a different story.
Do not listen to the depraved prosecutor, witness. You will be tainted with his evil.
Do you have any idea how dark and cold a prison cell is?
I exercise my right to remain silent.
What's this now? Changing horses in midstream, are you?
Shut up! I will remain silent, and that's that. Patches, you fool! You stay out of this.
Ha ha ha! Patches is not the brightest bulb in that box you call a noggin, is he? The fact that he switched from I don't know any Owen to I will remain silent is proof that he does know about Owen.
There it is again. Simon's formidable psychological manipulation tactic. I'm sure glad he's on my side today.
Me too. Don't want to be on the end of that again. I don't want to be on the end of this guy's beads either. You dirty, despicable, depraved prosecutor. You are leading the witness. Witness, there is no need for you to submit yourself to the defense's questioning.
Your Honor, Uendo is definitely hiding something. Please allow me to question this witness about the existence of Owen.
I suppose only this witness can confirm or deny the existence of Owen for us. Very well. I will allow the defense to proceed. Gah, Pokanka.
I've never met any personality named Owen. Patches was just blurting out nonsense in a panic.
We're always aware, so we definitely noticed if a personality like that showed up.
How dare you treat me like a criminal based on mere conjecture?
My god, this whole case, Uendo has 4 testimonies!
Wow, am I supposed to deal with the testimony of 3 personalities? How am I?
Unless you can prove the existence of Owen here, it's all over. You'd best screw your courage to the sticking place and attack their testimony head on.
All Alright, I will. Just stop piling the pressure on me. I have to draw out some info, anything to drag Owen out into the open.
Let's go! Alright, press it on everything. We do have to skip a statement at some point, though.
Met, huh? Is that how you experience each other? Like people meeting on the street?
Well, it's more like all three of us are always here. And the personality that's most suited to the moment is the one that comes out.
So when you're out, Owendo, what are the other two doing?
Well, we never know when our turn will come, right?
So we stand by and listen.
So that means all three of you share the same memories?
I never really thought about it, but I guess that's right.
I see. Thank you. Please continue. Patches, can I have a word with you, please?
Why, hello! You rang?
You said at first that you didn't know anybody named Owen. But then you exercised your right to remain silent. Were you afraid of committing perjury?
Well, you see... I'll take over from here, if you don't mind.
Listen, I hate to say it, but Patches is about as smart as a sack of rocks. If you grill him with a bunch of highfalutin words, he's going to want to keep silent.
I see. So looking after loose-tongued Patches is your role, is it, Miss Kisagawa?
Well, I don't know about that. But anyway,
She babysits the both of them, I'm sure.
I do know that Patches was just flustered, and that's why he decided to remain silent.
Okay, we're gonna skip over that for now.
Since nobody involved with this case is named Owen, we have to explore the possibility that he's a hidden fourth personality of yours.
Whoa,
After all, the card reads Owen Fourth.
that was weird.
But how can you be so sure that that's what the cards really mean?
What else could they possibly mean?
Well, for example, Owen, the fourth hitter.
Who in the world is that?
He's a baseball player! A really great one, too! Owen Gonzalez, 36 years old. He's a cleanup. Fourth place hitter, of course.
If such a famous baseball player was there hanging around in the theater, he would have drawn a lot of attention to himself, don't you think?
Well, then how about this?
Maybe it means ON for the, like ION 4000.
And who is this mysterious N person?
We're not bringing Death Note into this.
What? N isn't a person. It was Shisho's favorite hobby shop, Enjoy. He was a huge model train collector.
I see.
Maybe he owed the hobby shop some money. So he left a note to remind himself.
With Karuta cards? Karuta cards?
In Karuta cards on the table?
Shisho worked in mysterious ways.
Are you even taking this seriously?
I'm being completely serious. The point is, Owen Fourth could mean just about anything.
I suppose you're right. I guess I'd better approach this from a different angle. I should have figured that he's not going to just give in like that. There's gotta be some sort of key to unlocking Owendo's fourth personality.
Personally, I can't wait to see who will slip up first.
Oh, Simon.
But it better not be you.
Well, it won't. And if I can't find any inconsistencies, there's always one thing to do, and that's press.
Well, we almost pressed everything. Now we gotta press the third statement. We'll get our answer here.
But what if, for some reason, you three were unconscious at the time of the incident? If the three of you weren't alert and aware, what would happen?
What would happen? I'm not even sure what you mean.
I mean, you three share the same memories, right? But what if Owen is different? What if he has memories separate from yours? Maybe Owen emerges when the three of you are unaware or unconscious.
Instead of speaking as if this fourth personality is a foregone conclusion, I suggest you prove his existence first.
Well, we've already seen 3 personalities. A 4th wouldn't be a stretch.
Especially in the case of a DID person. You dishonor the victim and this court by jumping to such conclusions without proof.
Have you ever heard these old sayings, Prosecutor Samahi? What happens twice will happen thrice. If you see 1, there are likely 30 in your home. I'm basing my theory on such premises.
Comparing us to cockroaches? Do we bug you that much, girlie?
But how do you intend to prove it? How will you prove that all 3 personalities became unconscious, as you say? Unless you can do that, all of this talk is merely empty speculation.
Well,
Don't be so timid. If you don't have it, then find it. Look for something that could render Wendo and the others unconscious.
Simon's right. I can't back down now. For my client, Mr. Wet, I have to... Wait, Mr. Wet?
Let me rest. Maybe if I were a lump of regular flour dough for udon noodles. But I'm fresh like my soba, and you don't let soba dough rest. It's all about the 3 freshes. Grind the buckwheat seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodles for... Wet. Wet is a very unfortunate last name, by the way. But at least it's not moist.
He's blacked out.
Mr. Wet, falling unconscious. Wait a minute, I think I've got it.
Miss Sykes, do you have proof to back up your theory? Yes.
Yes, Your Honor, I do. The proof is right here in this crime photo.
It is? In that case, please point out what supports your theory.
This, most likely, is what caused Uendo to lose consciousness.
This bottle here.
This is probably what made Uendo lose consciousness.
Oh yes, the sake. And isn't it just like Master Tornado to pick a fine brand like Camel?
Sake? Oh, you mean rice wine.
Hold it! Oh, please. Don't call it rice wine. That's so unsophisticated. And it's not even wine. Silly girl.
I must agree. You need to become more cultured, Athena.
Tomato. It's made of rice and people get drunk from drinking it, right?
It's called sake. End of story.
Fine, sake it is then. Ay, caramba. Everybody's so touchy about these things.
I recall Master Tornado would often have a drink or 2 before performing. He said it made him more eloquent.
Sure it does.
Drinking too much of the stuff can make one lose consciousness, though, of course.
And look, there were 2 glasses on the table. Wendo, I believe your master offered you some sake. And then you must have drank too much and passed out. That's when your fourth personality, oh, when it merged!
I drank sake. Oh, that's a good one. We have a real sweet tooth, you see. So, yes, we did accept a sugary red bean bun. But since we really dislike sake, we said no, thank you to that. Believe it or not, we're real weak when it comes to booze. Even a tiny drop can knock us right out. So, you see, I had a sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake.
What? But that can't be right! The defense demands that the glasses be examined right away!
You amateur! Did you really think I had not already done so? Your foolishness is beyond the pale.
Don't tell me!
There was no trace of the witness having touched either of the glasses, naturally.
Right, of course.
Miss Sykes, would you like the witness's statement added to his testimony?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Very well. Okay, we're gonna press on this.
So if you had even a tiny sip of sake, you conked right out, huh? That's why you didn't touch the glass that Master Tornado offered, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Then maybe you ate something that had sake in it as an ingredient?
I don't recall doing anything like that.
Huh. He doesn't recall doing it. But that doesn't necessarily mean he didn't. He just might not have known that he did. I better take another good look at the evidence.
So he didn't drink any sake, huh?
Oh boy, now we're in trouble.
That kind of answer is exactly why Sad Monk keeps insulting you. Now use your head. There are countless ways Wendo could have gotten sake into his mouth besides drinking it.
Well, I don't know about the countless part, but...
But nothing. Give it some thought and you'll figure something out.
So the witness must have had something that contained sake. Is there anything in the court record that hints at something like that?
There might be, so let's present something at the last statement. That is sweet manju, so let's present Taifu's note. Where is it?
This shows what most likely made Uendo lose consciousness.
That note. Are you feeling lightheaded, child? Or perhaps a bit peckish?
I'm not hungry and my head feels just fine, thank you very much. Look at the paper this note is written on. Isn't there something familiar about it?
What exactly is your point, Defense? This faint design here reminds me of the paper from...
Yep, it's a piece of the wrapping paper on the box of manju buns by the victim on the floor. Manju. It's manju, isn't it? Manju. Uendo, you may not have drank any sake, but you did eat a sweet red bean bun, right?
Well, yes, that's right.
I don't know if you're aware of it or not, Uendo, but I believe the manju you ate caused you to fall unconscious.
The bean bun? But how?
Because those buns contain a secret ingredient. A very punchy secret ingredient at that.
A punchy secret ingredient?
Yes. The design on the wrapping paper matches that of something else in the room.
It does?
The design on this object matches that of the manju box wrapping paper.
This bottle again. A camel pattern. It's the same as the one for the camel brand sake.
So, just as Wendo said, he didn't drink any sake per se.
But he did eat some.
Impossible. That's a tiny bit of sake that knocked him out.
The window had a camel brand red bean bun, which boasts a nice shot of sake as one of its ingredients.
So the defense is claiming that Uendo passed out after consuming a camel sweet bun? Which allowed a fourth personality named Owen to emerge. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. That's exactly what I'm claiming.
But there's one thing that bothers me. Wouldn't the alcoholic content of the buns evaporate as they are steamed?
In order to give them a stronger flavor. Some manju are specially made to retain as much of their alcoholic content as possible.
What kind of lightweight do you think I am? Even I wouldn't pass out from eating a simple manju.
Then how about we test that theory?
Oh shit!
What do you say, Your Honor?
Seeing is believing, as they say. Very well, I will allow a test.
Thanks, Your Honor. Simon, go buy us some camel manju on the double. And don't forget to get me one too, okay?
Why must I?
And while you're at it, Prosecutor Blackwell, you will get one for me as well.
I'm not the courthouse stable boy, you know.
Well, too bad, you are now. Or he's gonna make Taka do it. Taka!
But just this once I'll acquiesce. Taka, I'm counting on you.
Man, I was wondering where Taka's been this whole time. Why isn't Taka hanging out with Blackwell? Why isn't Taka being sent to attack Samai?
And all of you had better pay me back.
Aw, but I thought it would be your treat, Prosecutor Blackwell. What a shame. Now then, let us adjourn until the manju arrive by Carrier Hawk. Court will reconvene as soon as Taka returns. I think there's a to be continued. We do have a couple more minutes, and I'm gonna see if we can get all the way up to when Uendo eats the manju bean, and we see if Owen will show up or not. No saving. Let's go. Faster, faster, faster. Come on, game. Load faster! Rubble. Taka on the bald head, of course. Now that the sweet buns have arrived, this court is back in session.
Go on, Uendo, eat up!
Nice flavor. You can really taste the sake. That was delicious. Yes, a unique sweetness and the faint aroma of sake. Yet, I hardly think that anyone could pass out from eating something like this.
What's the matter, Wendo? You're not afraid of a tiny manju, are you?
Or are you scared of how many calories it has?
Don't be ridiculous. A sweet little snack like this couldn't possibly... I mean, it could never.
Then eat it!
Less bleeding, more eating, witness.
Fine. Whatever. See? I told you. It don't affect me in the slightest. We might be a lightweight, but come on. Nobody's that light. Seriously. Nobody gets drunk off of one little bun.
Wow, that's a literal lightweight right there. Holy shit. Also, this is very nice mocapping here. He's got some of the best animations, okay? The best in this game.
Hello, looks like it worked!
Oh my! Witness, please tell the court your name and occupation.
My name is Owen. I'm 5.
Oh no! We're going to bully a child apparently in the next video, so I'll see you guys then! Is that what you're saying? He committed the act of murder.
But wait, that doesn't add up! If Mr. Wet killed the victim before 4 p.m., why would he return to that room at a later time?
Is this Bucky? Hold it! Wet Soba, your kit and kabuto when it comes to noodles. Oh my! Hiya, Miss Chickadee. Hey, Simey. The reason I went back is because Master Tornado ordered uncooked noodles.
Mr. Wet!
Yesterday, I bought noodle-making tools to the dressing room at around 2 p.m. That's when Master Tornado ordered uncooked soba noodles to stock up on.
Uncooked noodles?
I wouldn't accept them either.
Well, I understand the defense's feelings on the matter. This court is unable to accept anything other than the time the defendant made his visit.
Now what do I do?
I trust you have no further objections, defense. At last, the time has come to send the soul of the victim onward to the Twilight Realm.
Silence.
What are you
yammering on about, Prosecutor Sad Monk?
I need to stop interrupting Blackwell. I don't know why I keep doing this. This is the second time now.
We still have something we need to question Wendo about.
We do? Like what?
Well, don't just stand there.
But we don't have any evidence left to present.
Hello, let's talk about Owen.
Have you forgotten already?
Yeah, she has.
Isn't there still a hidden witness you have yet to question?
A hidden witness? Oh, that's right!
I think he was already dead by that point.
If what he's saying is true, then there's no way he could be the murderer.
I swear I'm telling you the truth, Miss Chica. Sonny, how much have you drank? Bailiff, quick! Get this man to the infirmary! Well, I dare say he's quite the handful.
Your Honor, please accept the statements of Mr. Wet made just now into evidence.
I believe the accused's statements about going to the room at around 2 p.m. is true, for it falls within the victim's estimated time of death. That opens up the possibility that the crime was committed between 2 and 4 p.m. That's some critical information. Yes, Your Honor. But other than that one point, Mr. Wet's statements are dubious and without proof.
But they are the words of the defendant himself. Simon, back me up here.
He has a point. If I were the prosecutor...
And we're back to another episode of Spirit of Justice. So, we're talking about how there is no motive for Wendo, there is no reason for Wendo to actually do anything, and apparently Bucky Wet was around before 4 p.m., so now we're going back to accusing Bucky Wet again, and I believe Nayuta is in the middle of pointing out why it's him.
The long rolling pin and the special knife that is used to cut the dough into noodles.
Precisely. These tools all came from the accused's soba shop.
You mean they didn't belong to Master Tornado?
Mr. Wet had visited the dressing room to give the victim a soba-making lesson, and that visit was before 4 p.m. I'm afraid that after the accused kneaded the dough and made those noodles, he murdered them then.
To stock up on?
Yes, ma'am. Master Tornado kept a supply of soba noodles from my shop in his fridge. Man, why are you still carrying those? He's only had one serving left, so I went back to my shop to get some more.
One serving of noodles in the fridge? Why, I thought the fridge was practically empty. Huh. Anyway, the whereabouts of the missing noodles isn't all that important now.
That means it's important later.
You ran into me and Geiru when you came back to deliver the uncooked soba, correct?
That's right, Simon. I made time out of my busy day to deliver him the noodles. And you know what? He ignored me when I called him from the inner doorway. He just kept mumbling Rakugo lines for ages, so I got mad and went back to my soba shop.
Ah, so that's why you got mad.